Hello everyone, and welcome back to another video. I'm the Last Wanderer, and today I have some top tier netherite armor on to show you the power of my new instant death button. Now, you might think that such good armor would prevent you from instantly dying, like it's meant to. But that's not always the case, as you can see here. After watching that demonstration, you're probably left with two main questions. First of all, how could the instant death button kill me even though I was wearing full netherite armor with protection 4? And second, I died from an explosion, so why is there no crater? Well, the answer to the first question is pretty simple. I used my old favorite, the End Crystal, because of its high blast damage. But as you can see, that explosion clearly destroyed much of the surrounding terrain. So how do we prevent this? Well, it's pretty simple. Just use water. As you can see, no damage to any surrounding blocks happened this time. So combining these principles, we get this finished design here. Let me show you it in action. So let me explain what just happened. When this button was pushed, this redstone dust was powered, which in turn powered this note block and this trapdoor. This trapdoor also updated this wall. So, at the same time, both of these observers were updated. This observer here fired this piston, which removed this block here. That exposed the player to the end crystal and its explosion. This observer over here powered these two redstone dust. This one fires a water bucket into the end crystal to prevent it from damaging surrounding blocks, and this one fires an arrow into the end crystal to explode it. Also, a T flip-flop is triggered, because once the button depowers, a second pulse will be sent through the circuit. Then in the end, this block will be put back in place by the sticky piston during the second pulse. With that explanation in mind, I'm going to address some of the design choices I made while making the instant death button. First of all, why is dispenser used to dispense the water onto the end crystal instead of having the water just already present? That has to do with resettability, because as you can see under here, end crystals cannot be placed underwater. And so, to make the instant death button easier for the player to reset, I have the water dispensed and then removed. It would of course be easier if you could just dispense in a new end crystal. However, that unfortunately does not work, so you just have to place it in manually. Now, the fact you can't dispense an end crystal is a little weird, considering you can dispense entities like different variants of minecarts, boats, armor stands, and even TNT. But yeah, for some reason, dispensing end crystals just doesn't work. Adding on to this odd behavior, you can actually summon the Wither with a dispenser, but for some reason, you can't summon the Ender Dragon with a dispenser. You may have also noticed observers in my design, which means the instant death button isn't actually instant, but I don't really consider that much of a problem, since it still works in a fraction of a second. Moving on from that, another problem you may have thought of is that the instant death button can be circumvented if you're holding a Totem of Undying. Or if you have a Turtle Master Potion, or if you have full Blast Protection 4 armor, or finally, if you've eaten an enchanted golden apple. A simple solution to that problem would be, of course, to use a second end crystal. But unfortunately, when you blow up one end crystal, it blows up all nearby end crystals, even ones their explosion cannot reach. As you can see here, this end crystal's explosion would be blocked by obsidian, and although their nearby end crystals don't do damage. So that doesn't leave too many options left for damaging the player a second time. You could, of course, replace the water bucket with a lava bucket, since that'll still work at preventing other blocks from being destroyed by the end crystal. But unfortunately, that doesn't do too much damage. You could also try TNT, but that takes a bit of time to activate. Minecarts with TNT are a bit unpredictable, and instant damage arrows won't do enough damage. With that all in mind, I've decided to just keep my setup pretty simple and only include the one end crystal. In the future, I might make a second version of the instant death button that can kill players with totems of undying or status effects, but as it stands now, I think this design is pretty sufficient, especially considering that a button labeled the instant death button doesn't make a very good trap. Which leads to my final point: a player can actually reduce the amount of damage they take by not standing all the way on this block, as you can see here. This, of course, is a problem, which is why I built this second design over here, which pushes the button a block farther back, making it harder to circumvent the damage. You actually have to stand closer to the button to be able to press it. Of course, this doesn't make the second version infallible. You could stand off to the side if there's no blocks blocking you, and still press the button over here to reduce some damage. If you really wanted to, you could block off this area here, and force the player to stand directly over the end crystal and take the full force of the blast. But, as I've been saying this whole time, this isn't some super elaborate infallible trap. With that all in mind though, it's still fun to see someone with the best armor in the game instantly die. Alright, now onto the tutorial. For this tutorial, you'll need one wall or fence, it doesn't matter what kind, any button, any stair, any trapdoor, and any block, although some of them have to be full solid blocks. You'll also need 2 sticky pistons, 2 observers, a note block, 2 dispensers, 3 redstone dust, an obsidian, an end crystal, 2 water buckets, and some arrows. If you want to add the extension that drops a glass block in front of the button, you'll just need a lever, redstone dust, the glass, a sticky piston, and another block. And if you want to make the design that's 1 block longer, you'll just need some extra blocks and another redstone dust. So now, let me start with the tutorial. I will begin with a block that will be directly above the end crystal. So, once you have this block in place, put a diagonal block there, 2 more, then 1 more block diagonally up. You put a button on that, go 2 blocks down and place your note block, and put a redstone dust on it, and turn it to a dot. Diagonally from that note block, place your wall, and place a trapdoor up against that wall. Then place in 2 observers, and your sticky piston that will retract this block. Then you need another block over here, go down 2 blocks, and place your redstone dust like this. Then put a sticky piston here, another block on it, and place in your dispensers. Now put 2 blocks here, grab your obsidian and place that there, get your stair, put it here, and to place 2 more blocks around that, and then waterlog the stair. Now you can put your water bucket into the dispenser, and some arrows into this dispenser, and then just place down your end crystal, and it should all work fine. Just like that, and put the end crystal back to reset. With the redstone done, you can cover up the instant death button however you see fit. If you want to add in the lever and glass to prevent you from accidentally clicking the button, put a lever here, redstone dust here, sticky piston here, and then the glass here. And that works just fine as well. And if you want to move the button back a block, break this block here, remove the redstone, put 2 blocks here, with redstone dust on it, put your block here, and then grab your button and put it on top. And that's all for the tutorial. Hey guys, thank you all so much for watching, and as always, if you have any questions, comments, or concerns, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out some of my previous videos, including my improved design for the piglin bartering farm, and my new 1.16 3x3 gravity block doors. Also, make sure to come back next time for my next video, simple sugarcane farm with less hoppers. Again, thank you all so much for watching, and goodbye.